Hello and welcome. I'm Mina. I'm a certified yoga therapist as well as a yoga teacher. And today we're going to do some gentle heart, shoulder, throat opening so that the area between the heart and the throat can feel free. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe and like this video so more people can experience this kind of therapeutic approach to yoga. So, when we go through some kind of trauma, which many of us go through, one of the things that happens is that we either are numb to the feelings or sensations in our bodies and our feelings, or they're so heightened that they overtake us, or we feel them, but our mind gets in the way of expressing those sensations and feelings clearly through our words or in our behavior. So there's kind of one way that you could symbolize that is kind of a disconnect between the heart, everything that's below, so the body and the heart, the emotions, and the throat, our expression, or our ways to bring what's happening in the body into the higher mind, cognition, communication. So my intention behind this class is to kind of open the gateway of pure communication with yourself, with other people around you, so that you can reclaim your body, all the sensations and everything that's happening with your mood, your feelings, bit by bit. So today I thought we're also going to use really down-to-earth props so that no one feels like I can't do this at home. So I have a really thick book. You can also use two. You might not need these, just in case for later. And I have two really overwashed towels that hopefully everyone can find at home. Good. So we're going to start lying down. I'm going to just take one towel to begin with. I'm going to put the other one aside. And I'm going to open it quite big. So this might feel very big. And I'm going to roll the towel. So I have a lengthy burrito. And I'm going to place this on the mat. I think we've done this before. But this is just a towel. So this might already be a lot. So we're going to lie down on this in the way that the shoulder blades or the tips of the shoulder blades are just on this little towel, which means that we are in a very, very gentle back bend. I'm going to open my arms out to the side. And I'm going to start in constructive rest. So the feet hip width distance apart. And I'm finding a spot where I don't really have to do anything to hold the knees. Might have to wiggle around a little bit just to find the right sweet spot. And if you're already depending on the towel, depending on how you folded it, it's too much, you can unroll it a little bit. You can fold it out even more to make an even skinnier roll. So, or you might not need anything. Just lying flat on the floor with your knees bent might already quite be an intense shoulder and heart opener for you just because of the way your spine is formed. Good. So I'm hoping that you have found your version of this position. Good. And have dropped your bones a little bit more towards the ground. And if your breath can flow through your nose today, I invite you to do so. In through the nose, out through the nose. And here, especially at the beginning of the class, the belly can be really soft. Expanding with the inhale and softening with the exhale. Good. Your eyes can be gently closed, or you can stare softly at the ceiling. Good. And once you've settled here, I invite you to lengthen and deepen your breath a little bit. So The breath not only moves into the belly, but also towards the area of the ribs, and maybe all the way up towards your collarbones and your heart. And as you exhale, you can just allow gravity to sink the front body towards the earth. Let's do this a few more times. Inhaling into the belly, the area of the ribs, all the way up to the collarbones, and out. Let's do it 2 more times. Maybe exhaling out with a sigh. So inhaling into belly, ribs, heart, and sighing it out. Good, last one. All the way at the top of the lungs, and then good. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to simply move the feet over to the right and maybe the upper body a little bit more to the right. So we're a little bit more in a banana shape. So the right side is a little bit shorter, left side is a little bit longer. If you want to intensify, you can extend the legs and maybe you can cross the left leg on top of the right, and that should open up the belly area a little bit more. Good. And this time, pronouncing the breath on the left side of the body a little bit more. And if at any point this roll is getting too much, then you can take it out. You can get wonderful benefits from doing this, just lying flat. Let's take one more breath into the left side of the body. Good. And then you can slowly come back to the center. You can bend the knees. And from here, same thing. The feet come over to the left side. And maybe the upper body kind of bends over to the left a little bit more, so you have a little bit of C curve. Good. You can keep your knees bent or extend the legs, and perhaps crossing the right leg on top of the left. Good. Extending this, lengthening all the way into the toes. And then again, breathing into the cells, the spaces that are demanding a little bit more attention now. Using this time at the beginning of the class to really expand the capacity of your lungs, so the oxygen can flow into the lower lobes of the lungs, into the sides, into the back. Good, and then let's come back to center. Wonderful, good. And we're going to place the feet hip-width distance apart and just a gentle hip lift as you inhale, and as you exhale, lowering the hips back down. Now this might feel a little bit awkward with the towel underneath, and it doesn't have to be a very, very high back bend. You don't have to lift the hips a lot. So we're just experiencing the spine becoming a little bit more straight. And as you inhale, lowering the hips down. Good. One more. More of a massage. Beautiful. Good. And then we're going to lie on the right side. So keeping the towel where it is, or maybe you've taken it out, no problem. And rolling on to the right side, like at the end of class, like you're just coming out of Savasana. It might feel kind of tingly on your back because you've just moved the towel. If you still got the towel is underneath your right armpit. And you're massaging these intercostals and the muscles underneath here, the serratus, latissimus. Good. From here, placing the left hand on the shoulder. I'm going to draw small circles here with the elbow. As you inhale, elbow forward and up. And as you exhale, elbow to the left and down. Good. And you can make this movement as small or as big as you like. And just noticing that when the elbow comes up and to the side, the spine goes more into a twist. And as you close the elbow, bringing it over to the right, kind of neutralizing your spine again. So through the movement of the elbow, we're influencing the spine. Good, one more. Sorry, my sweater is a little bit loud today. Good. And then slowly rolling on to the back to come into a neutral spine again. Nice. And then we're going to roll over to the other side. Again, coming into a fetal position, this time towards the left. I'm going to reposition myself a little bit here. Good. And again, feeling just a gentle pressure of this towel against the muscles on the side of you, this time the left side. See if you can soften into that space. Good. And then right hand shoulder. And we're going to draw some small circles again. As you inhale, elbow goes forward and up. And as you exhale, elbow goes out and down. Syncing the breath with the movement. And again, noticing that when the elbow goes up and out to the side, this time to the right side, your spine comes a little bit more into a twist. Good. And then the spine neutralizes as you bring the elbow around and forward. Nice. Last time. And all of these things are meant to feel good. There might be some sensation, but nothing that makes you say, oh my God. So everything just easy, lazy. Good. Let's come back onto our backs. Oh, actually, let's just take out the blanket. So you can stay on your left side. Press yourself up and then just take out the roll and simply lie back down if you haven't already. If you have already, coming back into constructive rest and just checking in. Maybe your spine already feels a little bit different. My breath definitely feels different. Allowing the breath and the blood to pull back in. Nice. Wonderful. And then you can, again, roll yourself out through the side to sit up. Or if you like, you can hold on to the backs of the thighs and rock back and forth a little until you sit up. Good. From here on, we're going to come onto hands and knees. So I'm going to unroll my burrito and place the towel underneath my knees. So just a little bit of TLC for my knees. If it's not necessary, not necessary. Good. And I always take some time to arrive here on all fours, just noticing, okay, now I'm supporting my weight through my hands, through the knees, and I can shift the weight side to side, back and forth. And maybe this exploration of your weight shifting takes you into hip circles, shoulder circles. Maybe the head likes to move. Just freestyle, exploring what your body needs. And if you don't want to move much at all, just experiencing the weight on hands and knees, it's also perfectly fine. Good. The breath still moves. Wonderful. And then let's come back into center when you're ready, and we'll move through some more classic cat-cow. So as you inhale, you can open the heart, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, you can round the spine. Good. A few at your own pace. Inhaling to open the heart, maybe accentuating the upper back a little bit more today. And as you exhale, again, creating space in between the shoulder blades, like you're pressing the ground away. 2 more. Wonderful. And let's come into a child's pose for a moment. Any child pose variation that you like. I'm going to widen the knees a little bit. Bring my hips towards my heels. Actually, I'm going to take this book and place my forehead onto the book. Good. Your arms can be soft. I'm just going to take a few breaths in here to the back. So today we're working more on the upper back, the space between the heart and the throat. And quite often when we visualize our bodies, we think of the front of the body. And so they're just taking this time to experience, okay, so there's the back side of our heart, roughly between the shoulder blades, the area that we were, that we had the roll under, and also the back of the throat. So the cervical spine, and the nape, above our shoulders. And see if we can melt some tension here, allowing the weight to drop into the ground or the book or the block. And how much tension in the shoulders can I now release? But just by breathing here, allowing gravity here to move through me. Good. And at any point in the class, you can always come back into the shape to rest and breathe. Wonderful. Slowly press ourselves back up onto our elbows and hands. I'm going to move the book out to the side. Good. And from here, I'm going to move into a downward facing dog. You're welcome to also come into a puppy pose if that's more your style today. Wherever you are, lifting the hips a little bit higher than the heart. If you like to walk it out, sway your hips. Do that. Beautiful. Letting the head hang. Knees can always be soft. Good. And then lengthening the hip bone towards the sky. Wonderful. From here, I'm going to come into a forward fold just for a moment. Doesn't have to be deep forward fold. More a sense of surrender. Hands can hang. Head can hang. Good. I'm just going to roll up and back a few times. When you're ready, you can bend the knees to point the tailbone down towards the floor. Good, and take your time to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're standing, take an inhale. And as you exhale, chin to chest and rolling back down. And then noticing how the back of the heart rounds, there's space. Good. A few more times. When you're down there, bending your knees even more so the tailbone can point down. Rolling up. Good. Inhale. And exhale back down. Feeling the heaviness of the head. Lengthen the spine a little bit more. Good. And then from here, we're going to take an inhale to halfway lift. So creating more space to the front of the heart. And exhale, full forward fold. You can always bend your knees, soften. Good. 2 more times. Riding the breath. Inhale, open the heart. Hands can also come up towards the knees to lengthen the heart. And exhale to fold. Good. Last time. Inhale. Creating space to the front of the body. And then exhale, folding. And then simply step the left leg back into a low lunge. So you're welcome to drop your left knee. Might have to walk your right foot a little bit further forward. And then coming up into a low lunge. Beautiful. And so although we're opening this area here, the whole body is connected. We also want to open the fronts of the hips a little bit. Nice. Let's move into some cactus arms. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, cactus arms. Lift arm. Good. Inhale, reach fingers up. And exhale, cactus the arms like you're trying to pierce your heart through the tips of the shoulder blades. Good, last time. Good, and then you can sway your hands back down. And we're going to switch sides. You can bring the right foot back and step the left foot forward to come into a lunge on the other side. Good, waiting to find your balance. Come up. And exhale again, finding this shape, opening through the front of the hip. Nice. Let's come into cactus arms again. Inhale. And exhale, cactus arms. Good. One more. Last round. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, cactus the arms. Swing the arms down. And this time, let's step forward into a forward fold. So you might take a few steps to come into a forward fold. Feet can be hip width distance apart. Good. And then inhale. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Good. Let's inhale. Come into a chair just for a moment. You can always bring the hands forward or bring the arms a little bit further up. Just to feel the strength of the legs again for a moment. Let's take an inhale here. And then exhale, folding all the way down. Good. Inhale, one more halfway lift. Good. And then let's step it back onto all fours or into a downward facing dog. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale. Let's take it into a plank position, or you can lower your knees right away to meet in a tabletop position. Good. From here, we're going to shift the weight into the left hand, the left knee. I'm going to point my left toes a little bit out to the side to come into a gate pose. Good. Let's take a moment here to press the right foot into the ground. There's still a sense of space to the front of the hip. Good. And if you feel a little bit energized today, you can lift this right foot. Good. As we swing the upper arm, inhale, reach the arm up and over. And exhale, back and down. Inhale, right arm up and back. Exhale, down. Good. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. From here, let's step the right foot forward into a lunge. You can always carry the foot forward. Nice. And once you're in a low lunge, let's actually open up the other side. So a variation of side angle pose. The left knee is down on the ground. The toes are towards the right. So my upper body is this time facing the left side. Good. You can stay here or reach your left fingertips up and above the head. Good. So we're lengthening, opening through the side, through the armpits, creating space here, maybe tilting your heart a little bit more up towards the sky. Good. And then slowly grounding the left hand down. Let's take it into a gentle twist. You can point the left toes back again. Right fingertips up towards the sky. Good. A little bit of a twist here. Focus still on the upper spine. Good. Take one more deep breath. Nice. And from here, you can kick your right foot back again. So you can keep the right foot elevated or down on the ground. Good. And today, if you like, you can point your right toes back even and bring the right hand to the back of the skull. So it's like a baby variation of a wild thing. So your heart is moving forward and up. And we're creating this length through the hip, through the side of the body, and through the front of the body as well. Wonderful. Take one more inhale. Good. And then exhale both hands down to the ground. Beautiful. Now you can rest in child's pose. You can rest in downward facing dog, or you can take it through a gentle vinyasa with me, slowly coming onto the belly. Inhale to a gentle cobra. And exhale back onto all fours or downward facing dog. Good. Let's take it through the other side. So this time shifting the weight into right hand, right knee, right toes point back a little bit for gate pose. Good. You can always keep the left foot down, pressing into the ground, finding more stability, or you can lift the foot if you feel a little bit more energized. And we're going to circle the top arm. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale back and down. So we're just mobilizing the fascia around the shoulders, around the back and the front of the heart, moving all the way up to the throat. Good. Last round. And then you can gaze forward and step the left foot forward. You can always hold on to the back of the thigh to bring the foot a little bit forward. Good. Right toes behind you. Nice. And from here, you're going to open it up to face the right side. So the right toe is moving forward, backward or towards the left. Good. And your forearm or your elbow can be on your thigh. Good. Finding this variation of a side angle pose. Pressing the right knee into the ground, fingertips reaching up and over. Maybe leaning your heart back a little bit. Good. Take one more breath in. Wonderful. And then slowly bringing the hand down to open it into a twist. Right hand grounds underneath your shoulder. Right toes point back again. And the left fingertips reach up. Good. And finding this grounding sensation. Right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Good. From here, we're going to transition back into gate pose / the baby wild thing that we were doing. So you can kick the left foot back again. You can stay here or bend your left knee, left hand behind your skull, and then starting to open the heart to the front and up. Good. And again, it doesn't have to be very deep. We're flossing the different sides of our torso to find more freedom. Good. And then slowly release the hand, and we're simply bring both hands down. And we all meet in a child's pose. Moving your hips back. Again, if you like to use the block under your head so you feel like it can really release, I'm going to place my hands together. Actually, let me stack my fists and release my forehead down. So I'm just creating a little block with my hands. Good. Now we've moved a bit. Not a bunch of side bends. Gentle heart openers, transitioned. And just noticing how the back of the heart feels now. So again, releasing the tension out of your shoulders, your jaw. Beautiful. Catching your breath. Nice, and then you can slowly lift your head. Press the hands into the ground. Good. And we'll come up for a moment. And we are going to perhaps repeat. So we're going to repeat a few of the things we did at the beginning on our backs. And if you say, well, this little roll was way enough, just stay there. You can roll the blanket up this way. That's going to be a little bit more intense. What I'm going to do, just in case, is roll up another towel in there. So I have something a little bit more substantial, maybe like a yoga bolster. Not everyone has a yoga bolster at home. And this way you can pretty much recreate a yoga bolster, something that's a little bit more sturdy but soft. Good. So we're going to lie back down again. And this time I'm going to, since this is a little bit higher, and if your setting is also a little bit higher, you can place a little book above the bolster that you made so that your head doesn't hang so far. We want to open the throat, but not so much. Good. So you can always roll in through the side. Good. And the head can be supported. Good. And just taking a moment to just arrive. This also opens the front of the shoulders. And maybe this also feels very different from the beginning of the class. Nice. And if you feel, wow, this is too much or too little, you can adjust. You can also stop the video. Okay. From here, I'm going to hook my thumbs. So I have a little butterfly here. And I'm going to reach the butterfly up above my head as I inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to come into cactus arms again. Okay, opening up through the armpits a little bit more. Inhale, that butterfly above the head. And as I exhale, bending the elbows down. Good, one more. Beautiful. And then I'm going to release the arms down. Good. And I'm going to start wiggling the knees side to side. Windshield wiper. Inhale, center. Exhale, bending one to one side. And you can go really, really slow. Inhale, center. And exhale to the other side. Good. So since the body is a connected whole thing, having kind of a rounded upper back might mean that there's more tension in your belly, right? So it's not localized. So by kind of flossing through different areas, also your legs, your belly, your ribs, your throat, your arms, we're attempting to free up the space in the spine. Good. By the next time the knees are over on the right side, if you like, you can extend your left arm kind of diagonally to create even more space through this line. Good. And then cactus the arm again, release knees through the center, over to the left side. Maybe extending the right hand diagonally away from you. And creating all this room through the armpit. Good. Let's come back into center. Nice. And let's simply roll onto one side. Take out the bolster. Push away your book or your block. And again, lie down on your back. Whew. And again, just noticing what's happening. Now, how does this connection between the throat and the heart feel? Good. Wonderful. And we're going to take a little passive inversion. So just a supported bridge. You can take the block for a little bit more firm support, or you can again place that bolster that you made underneath your sacrum. Nothing fancy. Kind of allow information from the knees, pull over and up towards the head. Good. If you like, you can extend one leg. So making sure you don't have a really, really deep back bend or a deep inversion. I feel good to extend one leg and feel the openness through the hip. I like to kind of touch the areas signaling through touch that it's okay. There's more tension can be released. Good, and let's switch over to the other side, slowly bending the right knee, placing the right foot down this time, extending the left leg. And this leg can be really, really passive. And making sure that you're not crunched in your lower back. There's a gentle sense of your pubic bone pulling in towards your sternum so that the opening is really happening in the front of the hip. And again, through the sensation of touch, you feel like signaling that it's okay to open there. Wonderful. And now if you want, you can extend both legs. Might have to shift a little bit on your bolster. And taking in sighs out through your mouth whenever you feel it's necessary. Good. Beautiful. Nice. And then one by one, placing the feet down on the ground. Pressing the feet into the ground to make your bum lighter. Releasing the blanket out. Good. And let's just counter that by gently bringing the knees into the chest. Massaging the sacrum. And if there's anything else you'd like to do before moving into your final rest, you can do that. I'm going to unfold my bolster a little bit, really lazily, and place it underneath my head, just so I have a little something to support my head. Good, and then let's take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. As many of those as you need so that you feel really this connection between the heart and the throat is for now unobstructed. And then gently making the eyelids heavy or closing the eyes. And resting here for a few moments. In a space where there's no responsibility, there's nothing you need to understand and follow from A to Z. You can hand the mic over to the body and its wisdom, where it can digest and process. I'm going to be quiet for a moment in Savasana. Good. If you like to rest here a little bit longer, you can do that. And if you'd like to join me for a very short meditation, you can start to wiggle your toes and your feet. Perhaps deepening the breath. Kind of staying very dimmed and with yourself as you come onto lying on your side. You can release everything into the ground you don't want to take with you into the meditation for the rest of the day. Wonderful. And then gently press yourself up to sit however you would like to sit. I'm going to take the book so I can sit up on a little bit of something. And I invite you to find an upright spine. You can also sit on a chair, on however many bolsters or cushions you need to feel that your spine is free. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands together in front of the heart, in Anjali Mudra. Pressing the hands gently towards one another, lifting the heart towards the thumb. Good, and we've cleared this connection between the heart and the throat that ultimately connects then to the mouth for us to express. And my intention behind this practice as well as this meditation is that this pathway between what we feel within our bodies, in our hearts, and what we then can express to the outside world, to other people, but also maybe to ourselves, so that it becomes more conscious, that we can put things into words so we can communicate with the world outside and with ourselves. So we're going to move our hands in Anjali Mudra between the hands and the mouth. So as we inhale, we're going to breathe into our hearts. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands towards our mouth. So we can speak clearly and compassionately. Inhale again back, hands towards the heart. And as we exhale, hands back towards the mouth, maybe with a gentle bow. Good, we're going to repeat this a few times. Inhale, hands down to the heart. And as you exhale, may we express these sensations and feelings accurately, compassionately. Inhale again to the heart. And as you exhale, Anjali Mudra towards your mouth with a gentle bow. Good, a few more times at your own pace. With the intention to maybe become more wise, more skilled, and translating feelings and bodily sensations into expression, into words, cognition. Last few rounds. Keeping the breath calm and smooth. Good, and very last time. when your hands are at your mouth and your chin is gently bowing down towards the heart center. You can pause here for a moment, soften your shoulders, soften your jaw, and kind of imprint however you're feeling in this moment, so that you can carry this quality of clarity between the heart and the throat throughout the rest of the day. And I bow down to you for sharing this practice, for sticking around for this long, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon.